Good evening and welcome to Stupid O'Clock News. I'm Lewis Lee. An Orem, Utah man is facing a wide range of charges after police say he stole pizza and breadsticks from a Little Caesars restaurant, threatened to slit the throat of the manager when confronted, and led police on a high-speed chase all over the city Wednesday. According to police statements, 30-year-old Richard Pratt Heilbut ordered food at the Little Caesars and became angry that he had to wait because the store was very busy with a line out of the door. After a few minutes, Heilbut walked behind the counter, grabbed 2 pepperoni pizzas and 2 breadsticks, and left the store saying, "I'm helping myself." The cashier told her manager, who confronted Heilbut outside the store in the parking lot, about the food that he took. During this time, the terrified cashier locked herself in the bathroom and called 911. Well, police were able to capture Heilbut, charging him with robbery, assault, reckless driving, and other crimes. Heilbut got his pizza, and now he'll be in prison. That's the news. Let's start the show.
Hey, sounds like a good plan. All right, let's go ahead and bring John up and Dan and sliding in
Prison.
Prison. Yeah.
Prison.
Et tu, Brute. Oh, sorry. Wrong. Oh.
That was earlier this month.
Guys, I was supposed to be camping this weekend.
No.
I am not camping this weekend and will probably not camp all season.
I saw something about that. What happened?
I am so mad. I have not been that close to choking the life out of somebody in a very, very long time, at least since I stopped drinking. Okay, so I started to see a little bit of delamination on the inside of the loft in my Class C motorhome. The loft is the part that goes over the cab, right? It has a bed up there and everything. Yeah. And I started to see, the inside panel was starting to buckle a little bit. So I said, I'm afraid I might have a leak there. So I brought it to a place that does RV roofs and said, I need you to inspect my roof and just, patch it up, water seal it. Well, the guy calls me back and says, yeah, you definitely got a leak and it's probably worse than you think. So I go there and he's showing me how it's bowed a little bit and starting to delaminate on the outside. And he says, you've probably, got a worse leak than you think. I said, okay, well, what's it going to take to fix it? And he says, like $12,000, because that's going to involve rebuilding the entire loft and then redoing the roof. Okay. So I said, is there, how long is this going to take? After I finished arguing about the price, I said, how long is it going to take? He says, he looks around at all the different RVs. He says, I probably won't even get to it until August. I'm like, that's the entire camping season. I said, okay, how about a patch? Can you just put me a patch on there to stop more water from going in? And then I'll bring it to you at the end of the summer and you can go ahead and do whatever you need to do. The guy was only supposed to put on a patch. He was going to charge me $500 for that. Okay. Just to patch it, $500. So I come back the next day. He says, you need to see this. The damage is worse than you thought. And I'm like, he's just supposed to patch it. So I go there. The guy has the entire loft, the front skin of it off, pieces of wood dangling out of it. I'm like, dude, you were supposed to put a patch on there. Long story made short, I know, too late. He offered to button it back up as best he could because he doesn't know with all that damage if he can even make it drivable, and wants to charge me $1,000 to do that. I'm like, okay, so what I told you to do for $500, you ignored, and you went invasive and did $1,000 worth of damage. Does anybody else think that I'm justified in being pissed off about this?
Sounds like it's time to lawyer up.
And the thing is that the thing is completely disassembled in the front. There, I cannot drive it.
You can't even take it home now.
Somewhere else. So, but it's like a thoracic surgeon getting you on the operating table, cutting you open and saying, "Oh yeah, man, you need a new heart, but we won't have any for months. So you just have to lay there until we can get a heart." He was supposed to put a patch on the roof, and I was going to bring it back.
On the outside.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I've been driving it around for a year and a half. No problems.
Flex seal. That's not going to put anything back together.
Well, no, not now.
Not now.
But I told him to just put a patch on. I said, do me the $500 bit. And instead he does $1,000 worth of damage.
Would it happen to be a place sort of named like a mall?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't mind telling you. It's RV roof install on in Fort Oglethorpe.
Okay.
I'm sorry. If you're backed up until August, maybe you just shouldn't even entertain any new business until you get caught up.
Why did you even attempt to start it? Now you're at the front of the line. Like Dan says, lawyer up.
Yeah. The guy and the guy just doesn't understand. When I try to explain to him why I'm upset, he's like, "But you need this done." I'm like, "It drove in here just fine. All I wanted you to do was stop the ingress of water. You didn't do what I asked you to do. You did more, which caused additional damage and completely eliminated the possibility of me using this for the season." So,
yeah, lawyer up and also go for lost time that you've spent with it, that you'll get to spend with it this summer.
Yeah, I told him, dude, I'm going absolutely stir crazy. If I don't get out of this damn town, I'm going to hurt somebody.
Of course, that's now a threat.
Well, I didn't use those words.
Yeah.
But just irritated.
But now you have a target.
I wouldn't hurt him, but golly. I have been so stressed out for the last 2 days. Unbelievably stressed out. I mean, retail therapy's not even helping. I gotta get out of town. I gotta go somewhere. Go on vacation. I don't care. There is a great deal for an all-inclusive resort in the Turks and Caicos Islands. Man, that is looking better and better every day.
And you're looking at 3 weeks, right?
Well, just a week in the Turks and Caicos. That's the deal. But that includes scuba diving lessons, snorkeling, zip line, all kinds of fun stuff. All meals included. And it for the both of us, including airfare from Atlanta, was going to be less than $7,000 for a week at an exclusive resort, 5-star resort. So,
yeah. If John wants to pull that up, John can pull that up.
I'm leaving it to you. It's your show.
I don't need a defamation lawsuit, but yeah, John.
If it's a customer, what do you call it?
Customer complaint.
No.
What?
There's a fancy word.
I even looked the dude up on the Better Business Bureau. Yeah. Okay, he's got no formal complaints, but somebody did get on there and say, what did they say? Oh, that part didn't print out. Seriously? Anyway, somebody else was
Consumer advocate.
complaining. Somebody else was complaining about his lack of schedule, and he just blasted back and said, "No, I'm not a member of the BBB because they're just a business, and all they want you to do is pay for their approval." And I'm like, well, that sounds like the excuse given by a guy who doesn't run a reputable business. That's the place.
That's the place.
That's where they're holding my RV hostage.
Affirmation. That's the word I was looking for. Customer affirmations.
Can I bring up something?
Yes.
Real quick. I want to first of all, I gotta bring up John. Full screen. If you guys look at John's background,
yeah,
and that reminds me of something.
Yes.
That's Devo's greatest hits, right?
Yeah.
But did you know also at Devo's greatest misses? That's a real album, by the way. Devo's greatest misses was a fantastic album. It had a concept behind it that was amazing. The idea being that like the greatest hits were like their biggest songs, right?
Right. And then there's the ones that weren't their greatest.
Well, what the greatest misses was, I'm trying to get the full description of it. Here it is from Wikipedia. These Devo's greatest misses were the lesser known tracks and alternate versions of tracks from other albums, and a lot of it is their like the stuff that they did when they were punk, right? Not their stuff that they did when they were new wave, when they're so it's a lot of stuff from like their first couple, their original first albums and stuff like that. So you have like including one of their songs, which is why that had a parental advisory. One of their songs is called Penetration in the Centerfold. Yeah. Put two and two together on that one, you'll figure out exactly what I'm talking about.
The staple, of course.
Staples. Yeah. Right there in the
Staples. Well, you remember that scene in oh god, what was that movie? It was a really funny movie. Critters. The scene in Critters, and it was in Critters 2, where there's the shape-shifting alien is trying to figure out what form that it should take, right? And it
comes up as a centerfold model.
Well, it keeps trying to figure out what it wants to be, right? And it can't figure out a form that it wants to take. And it keeps finding different things. Like it'll walk up to like a guy and change to that guy and steal his glasses and stuff. And he's just sitting there going, "What?" And as the alien walks away. But the centerfold thing was great because what had happened was that it walked up to a video store. And the one guy is like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And looks over, and it's staring at the cardboard cutout of Freddy Krueger, and starts doing the "I'm gonna morph into that." And he's like, "No," and holds the Playboy up, and so it turns into the Playboy centerfold, and it looks around, and it looks down at its stomach, and there's a big metal bar right there. It's the staple.
From the
and Playboy. He grabs it and rips it out and goes, "Kill Crichton."
Kill Crichton.
You're talking about, looking at the alien looking at the centerfold, and the only thing jumped in my head was the scene in Gremlins where they were looking at the Playboy.
Oh, my favorite scene from Gremlins along those lines was when she's looking around the bar. She's trying to help everybody with their drinks and stuff. Phoebe Cates. She's trying to help all the rabbits with their drinks and stuff. She looks over, and there's the one Gremlin, and he's like, "Ah!"
He flashes her.
But that is not as good as the best scene in Gremlins 2, though. I think we all know what the best scene in Gremlins 2 is. And it was only the theatrical version, although they did show it a lot on cable TV. The home video version had the John Wayne scene, which was also funny, but the original theatrical version, the original version of the film, had the movie getting interrupted by the Gremlins taking over the projection booth and having to send Hulk Hogan to get the Gremlins to stop. When the guy comes down from the projection booth, he's still like, those things, they've taken over the projector. They don't want to show the rest of the movie. All they want to watch is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
That was in the first one, wasn't it?
That was in the first one. Yeah, they wanted to watch Snow White so they could sing along because they like that song. Yeah, the scene where the dwarves are going to go work in the mine. When that scene happens, I love the Gremlins. Best Christmas movie ever. I don't care what anyone says. You can take your Die Hard and shove it. Gremlins is better than Die Hard.
I'm trying to find something for Lewis real quick. Just sort of got to play it real quick.
Lewis has a kind of a look on his face. Lewis, do you disagree with my assertion that Gremlins is better than Die Hard?
No, they're both good.
They're both good, but one has to be better. It's like liking Chocolate and Vanilla or Elvis and the Beatles. You have to pick one.
Mm.
One is obviously better than the other.
And well, I can't do it.
I would normally say that Die Hard is better, but being head to head, Phoebe Cates definitely tips the scales. I'm sorry, she's hot.
Lewis, when you were telling your story,
like anything with Phoebe Cates,
this popped into my head.
What popped into your head?
Apparently nothing.
I'm about to whip somebody's ass. Oh, I'm about to whip somebody's ass.
Joe used to have this as his ringtone. That is true, by the way.
Which was fun to listen to at conventions.
It was 100% true. If somebody would call Joe Dog, he'd be standing there talking to Joe Dog at a con. This is way before he was the head of Halicon. His phone would go off, and all you'd hear is, "Oh, I'm about to whip somebody's ass," and everyone would start looking around, and Joe would be like, "That's my phone."
Well, back when ringtones were, a thing. I don't care now. I've just got it on a regular old style phone ring. But when I was working at Channel 3, I wasn't a big fan of the news director. So my custom ringtone for him was Chevy Chase from that's my ship. Chevy Chase from Christmas Vacation.
I already knew it. I knew it.
Talking about his boss, lying, cheating. I captured that and made that my ringtone for the boss.
Hallelujah. Holy shit. Where's the Tylenol?
Yeah.
That's the best rant. I knew it as soon as you said Chevy Chase. I knew exactly where you're going.
Yeah.
Back when that was a super popular thing, I think I had a BlackBerry at the time. And I changed everybody's ringtone in my phone. I gave everybody a personalized ringtone, but they were all themes from video games, from old school retro video games, right? And I picked something that I thought that they would like. So not a whole lot of people called me very often with that, right? But the ones that would call me very often, I always gave them the best ones. People that didn't call me very often didn't really get a whole lot, but the people that called me all the time would. And there was this one person who I was dating, who obviously I'm not dating her anymore. But when I was dating her, I gave her one of the Castlevania ones because I knew she would call me whenever I was around people. And the people would always go, "It's Castlevania." Yeah, it's awesome. I think my favorite out of that, I only kept now with my current phone, and I've done this with the last 3 phones I've owned. I use the same ringtone, and it's the alarm, the nuclear alarm going off in the basement in Maniac Mansion when you either drain the pool or turn the breaker off, and the reactor starts to melt down. Because it either doesn't have enough coolant or you shut the reactor off and it's starting to freak out. I use that as my ringtone because It doesn't matter where I'm at. That noise, that alarm going off will get my attention instantly because it's this loud.
Shameless plug.
Yes.
Oh, that's those people.
Yeah, those people.
That's those people.
Yeah, they just waved hi at us.
Yeah.
They get a 3-second blip.
I don't know their names. I know them as Two Real Geeks. Those people.
Yeah, Two Real Geeks. Wait. There we go. Two Real Geeks. Hi guys.
I sort of got an announcement.
I did. Wait, Joe Dog, hold up. Put that picture back up one more time. Put it back up one more time. Look at your puppy. Oh, look at your puppy.
Oh, the doggy. Okay.
I want to pet the puppy.
Doggy that doggy. Okay.
Look at your puppy. Oh, you're adorable. You're cute. You're cute. Yeah. Is that boxer or a bulldog?
Looks like a boxer with a little pit mixed in.
Mm-hmm.
And the Two Real Geeks.
Those guys.
I'm right now updating something on the website as we're talking. I hold the contract for HalloCon 2021.
You do.
We do. We have a hotel.
You mean this HalloCon right here?
That HalloCon right there.
Ooh.
Yes, sir.
We have a hotel. That I'm fixing.
It's this one, right? Oh, wait a minute. It's a Super 8. We're not the Super 8 anymore.
Yeah, I need to get that changed. That was
where are we at now?
It's at Econo Lodge.
Econo Lodge.
It's been the Econo Lodge. It's been the Econo Lodge. Goober here told the man who made our artwork it was the Super 8 because it used to be the Super 8.
Well, yeah. Okay, Econo Lodge in Dalton or Econo Lodge someplace else?
Dalton. Well, specifically Rocky Face, but it's Dalton.
Yeah. North Tibbs Road.
Mm-hmm. Great spot. John, you're going to love it. But Joe Dog, along with that, do you have any other news regarding HalloCon?
Good question.
Other than we have our hotel, and you can now go to halocon.com on the hotel tab, call and make your reservations for your room for October 28th, 29th, and 30th. No,
Right.
29, 30, 31.
30th, and 31st. Yeah.
Yes.
You're thinking of last year.
Yeah.
Or no, not last year, because last year October 31st was on a Saturday.
Yeah, next year. I was got ahead of myself.
You're ahead of a year. Yeah, that was the one most. Yeah, the most disappointing thing about last year. We couldn't have our normal HalloCon because, oh my God, that would have been great. But we at least had the virtual con, and it was a really good. And if you haven't checked those videos out, by the way, if you missed it, go back and watch the videos. They're awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Two Real Geeks says that's Leia, their American Bulldog.
That's how you can tell they're geeks because they named the dog Leia.
Yes. But yeah, hotel is now active. You just call the number on the webpage, which is, by the way, 706-226-9579. Tell them you want to reserve a room for HalloCon. You don't have to pay for your room right there on the spot. You pay when you get there. Yeah, zoom it in.
Yeah, it's right there. Right there.
Yep.
It's not going to make the text any bigger if you zoom in, but you can see, like, it's right there off the interstate. We're that close. Look, there's a Walmart right there. You see the Walmart?
Yeah.
That's how close you are to civilization. It's a great spot.
Yeah, Walmart. Yeah.
There's a Wendy's.
Academy Sports.
Yeah, but
Wendy's
now the
across the
convention center is down at the next exit, right?
And,
Yeah.
and there's a
Wow.
Waffle House. There's a Waffle House right there.
There's
There's also a Burger King and
Liquor store.
Wendy's.
There's 2 liquor stores within walking distance if you're an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Or stumbling distance.
Yeah, stumbling distance.
A stumbling distance, there's one liquor store.
Possibly the coolest store on the planet, right there.
West Yellowknife.
Yeah, well, that's a little further away, but you could go there during the daytime.
Okay, there you go, right there.
There's the Wendy's, yeah, yeah. North Tips Road, man. Definitely.
There,
Come on,
there you go.
Everybody.
Okay, there's the one Skunk was talking about.
Yeah, that's the one you could stumble to, and they're really nice in there. By the way, those guys, they got me the super hook up. I told them. I went. That's a good restaurant. We ate there before. It's really good. I went into that liquor store right there, the one that's next to the BP, down the street from the convention. And I went in there on Friday, and I told them, I'm running a room party. I need a lot of British beer.
Oh, cool.
And the guy goes, well, it's Halloween this weekend. And I said, yeah. And he goes, let me show you a special thing. Takes me over. Like, okay. Shows me Newcastle Werewolf Red Ale. I'm like,
oh.
He goes, I sell you bulk discount. Yes. You got a guy. He sold me like 8 cases of this stuff for like $100.
Ooh.
He's the man. That's a great liquor. I always stop at that liquor store every year for Halicon to buy beer.
Hey,
speaking of beer, by the way,
we have somebody in the house.
We got something.
Well, you do it.
Will somebody add Nick, please? Look, check this out. By the way, speaking of beer, this is something that we got recently. I've been drinking. I got this at the liquor store because when I went to go make the RCR, I went ahead and bought it because I saw it and I was like, okay, I have to try it out. #basic from Tailgate, right? Tailgate Brewery, pumpkin flavored.
Ooh.
It's good. It's good.
So you're growing Uggs?
Oh, it's so good.
It's way too early for Han Solo season, man. That's September, October.
Darling, I will drink pumpkin whenever I want. Okay, I don't wait for fall to roll around to enjoy fall. It's fall weather right now.
I just want to applaud that you called me darling. That makes my night right there.
Okay,
Hey, Nick.
Another thing I'd like to point out. Okay, real quick before anybody goes anywhere. Let me see here. No, I don't want to put that button. Somebody got their green screen going.
That's not a green screen.
No, that's
not green screen. This is low tech.
Yeah, that's just a cloth background.
This isn't low tech, Nick. This is no tech.
But Nick, by letting it flow in the wind, you are kind of killing the effect.
Well, you see, it's barely held up after it attacked me involving the Shoggoth last night.
Yeah,
if you saw my live stream.
Well, I like the effect of that. You know what? Because you know what that reminds me of with it blowing like that? It reminds me of every haunt I've ever worked for.
No,
Joe knows exactly what I'm talking about because he laughed too.
Yeah. All I got to say, guys, is you've got to go back and watch the replay of the of his background attacking him.
Nick, I really wish that you would change that on your name, by the way. You are so a cryptid. We're both cryptids and we should be proud. I'm proud to be a cryptid. I just don't like people thinking that I'm the skunk ape. I'm not the skunk ape. I'm the skunk. There is a difference.
I don't know. Ape may be kind of.
That's racist.
Wow.
Speciesist, maybe.
And just like that, Joe Dog loses his ability to broadcast on another
Facebook. Yeah, he loses his ability to broadcast on YouTube.
Next thing, we've just got a chain of those little FM transmitters that you plug into your car.
I would be down for that. I really want to go. I really do one day want to do a pirate radio station of some kind. I think that would be a lot of fun. Hey, speaking of things that are fun,
welcome to the castle.
I was, and this is for Brian. This is for Brian and everybody else, but mainly for Brian's thoughts. I was going to invite Wade here tonight. I was.
And?
Unfortunately, Wade took a bump on concrete and hit his head tonight.
Ow.
So he's in concussion protocol. So I didn't want to invite him. He kept saying, I'm fine. And I'm like, dude, your head bounced off the concrete like a basketball. You are not fine.
No
and literally the talk in the area was like, do not Carson. They told Carson, our buddy, they told Carson, they said, when you get home tonight, Wade does not sleep. You keep him awake. So, yeah.
Oh,
He kept saying it was fine. I was like, dude, you're not fine.
Are you pulling up the reviews?
No, I was just kind of poking at it.
That's the website.
That is not our location. I know it looks like John and I are in the basement of somewhere shady, but really we're not. There are no rubber chickens.
This place is not shady. This place is not shady. Please do not defame the good name of the Econo Lodge in Dalton, which is the location of Halocon, which will be at October.
And that's actually,
That's what I'm saying.
scroll back to that room. That is our programming room.
Mm-mm.
Oh, that's
Yes, it
beautiful.
That's where we have all our panels.
Oh, that is where we have our. I don't know why I thought you said con suite. I was about to say that's not the con suite.
Hold on. What is the information? The Econo Lodge.
Econo Lodge, Dalton, Georgia. It's 1507 North Tibbs Road. Phone number is 706-226-9579. The rooms, by the way, your single and double rooms are $69.99 per night.
Mm-hmm. And I will be reserving mine tomorrow. And I'm assuming because come on, I live with the guy. With the guy that the Street Bunny will be joining me in my room.
I will have pre-reg activated by noon tomorrow.
And Dakota should be coming with me too, more than likely. I would like them to be there.
Yeah.
What are the room rates, Joe?
Rooms are $69.99 per night. Single and double are the same price. And if you want the hot tub room, they're $105 if you pay on card, $95 if you pay cash.
Joe?
Yeah.
I need you to look at chat.
What?
Two Real Geeks is asking you a question. As a con director, you should answer that.
Two Real Geeks, halocon@gmail.com. halocon@gmail.com.
And can I add something else to that real quick?
Yes.
Don't be a goober and forget to submit your panel like I did last year. I had 2 panels. I didn't submit either of them, and I got cut. And then the one panel I was supposed to be on, I got cut off of that too.
Well,
because
I can't schedule a panel if you don't tell me you're going to do it.
Yeah, well, the panel I was supposed to be on, you also cut me from. I got cut from everything last year.
Yeah.
That was a little pitiful skunk. I was hiding over in the corner. The only thing I got to do last year, we had to kill time because of there was a computer glitch or something. I had to kill time, so I played video games for an hour.
Yeah.
Which was fun. People got to watch me play video games for an hour. It was great.
Now, the question is, this is the big question.
Yes.
Is Lewis going to be at Halocon next year?
Yeah.
Yes. Dude, the whole stupid crew is going to be there. It's going to be awesome. I cannot wait.
You know, we need to figure out some way to do a show from Halocon.
Well, don't need to figure out how. We're going to do it.
I think what John is saying is we need to do a live stream from Halocon. And no offense to Bob up there, because Bob does do a fantastic job at a hotel. The problem is that the only internet connection that hotel has is Joe. How would you describe that internet down there?
Flintstones. Meet the Flintstones.
John, that's appropriate. Thank you.
We will have hard lines for our computers.
What I will say is that I believe that worst case we could, but the phones are garbage. Whatever. If worst case scenario comes down to it,
yeah.
Well, I've got this little device. It's a cell phone, and I have Verizon Unlimited. So I can use it as a hotspot I've done this at wrestling shows before. I can do it there in Dalton. I've actually done it once since I've gotten that for Halicon 2 years ago in order to get an internet connection, because the internet down there is not it's not bad. It's not bad. It's just it's
spotty.
You ever been to a convention that has Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
And have everybody getting on the Wi-Fi at once? Holy
Yeah.
crap.
It's
You could have
dial-up.
the best. You could have the best internet in the world. You could have the best internet. At Chattacon. Back when Chattacon was at the Choo Choo, and I know for a fact that the Choo Choo had EPB fiber optic internet. It didn't, and they had enough access points and enough everything. They had everything going exactly the way it should have been. Okay, because the Choo Choo. Back then, when the Choo Choo was an actual hotel, now it's like condominiums and stuff. But back when the Choo Choo was a hotel and we stayed there, they had great internet if there wasn't a convention. And the days we would go down there and there wasn't a convention, some of the fastest internet you'd get in the city of Chattanooga was at that hotel. During a convention, you could barely load Google. It was bad.
Guys, if worst case scenario comes up, by October there will be a new internet service available that I guarantee you will have a good internet connection.
Joe,
Starlink?
Start with your Starlink crap.
Yeah.
I want to hear about your Starlink, Joe. Don't want to hear about it. Okay? Don't want to hear about it. All right? And Joe,
It's supposed to arrive Wednesday.
Joseph, I want to tell you right now.
What?
I would tell you right now.
Yeah.
You got a really good thing going on with EPB. Don't blow it.
Starlink will be for mobile.
So dial
Yeah,
up.
if I ever get my
orbit.
RV back, I'm going to have it for that.
Yeah. You'll get your RV back.
Yeah, $12,000 and 6 months later.
Well,
Like I said, Lewis,
I mean, Lewis,
while you're up.
Lewis,
Yeah.
if I may, I was thinking about this earlier tonight because, oh, by the way, I'm not gonna air too much dirty laundry on this, but someone I know got robbed recently. And we found out that the person stole way more than we found out originally. We found out that they also stole something else. And like I said, I'm not going to air this person's dirty laundry. They don't need it. You don't need to know who they are. You just need to know they got robbed. They thought all they lost was a bag, but it turns out they also lost some other things as well. We found that out tonight. And it was a very harrowing experience for that particular person to discover. Oh wait, they're also missing these other things as well that that are much more expensive and much more worry that the things went missing. And we found one of them, but we haven't found the other. So it's a very uncomfortable experience. So apparently, it turns out one of the things that they stole, they realized they didn't know what it was and that it didn't work, so they threw it in the garbage. We found it in the garbage can. It's a really bad situation. And I was so mad that I started thinking about some things. So I just want to put this out there, Lewis, that I don't mind going back to jail.
Well, that's not to say we didn't, Skunk. You're too pretty for
No,
jail.
it's not going to come down to that. But I could.
I'm already angry at one person. I'm already
Hey.
angry at one person. we can make this into a one night deal. I could just take everybody that I don't like, put them in a row.
Skunk,
We'll do like Negan.
when it comes to
So are
RV
you gonna
repair,
Hmm?
when it comes to RV repair, Skunk, and Lewis, I want you to know, when it comes to RV repair and people do stuff like that, Skunk, you need a ride.
Jodoc, like I said, I'm gonna do it like Negan.
So,
I'm gonna
Joe,
do it like Negan. I'm gonna be out there.
do you know of anybody that can do this that would be a better shot? I mean, because I will have a flatbed show up and take my my RV somewhere else.
Not in this region. I mean, they're up in Nick's neck of the wood.
Well, I mean,
That's
in Nick's neck of the woods is where they build them.
Exactly.
Not every manufacturer's in Indiana.
Yeah.
Well, okay, Lewis, so the question is, do I know anyone that could do it and do it right?
Yeah.
And do it right? The answer is yes.
Would he? Are we thinking the same?
Probably not.
I was thinking the grumpy old fart, but
that's who I was thinking of. And he doesn't really, I mean, hey, he ain't got the, honestly, he could do it, but he ain't got he don't have the strength anymore to be doing stuff like that, honestly. I mean, he was roughing it the last time we saw him. And plus he's got his own problems right now. Like we can't really saddle up with that. But I mean, outside of my dad, who else is there? My dad won't do it. My dad's still trying to stuff a TDI engine in a Volkswagen right now. Well, that was redundant. He's trying to stuff a TDI in a Vanagon, and he hasn't done it yet, and he needs to have it done. Let's see. When is Bugapalooza?
End of May.
2 weeks.
No, 1st of May.
No, April 10th.
Ooh.
He's got 2 weeks to get this engine in this van, clean the van up, and get it out there. So it's like he's got he does not have time to work on any other projects. Oh, my dad could do it, Lewis. I'm sure he could. He's never worked on it. I mean, he's worked on RVs before, but he's never done anything like that. But I'm sure he could do it. He's an engineer. He knows what he's doing. Dad's the smartest guy I know when it comes to mechanical stuff. He's not exactly the brightest light bulb in the house when it comes to other things. Because I'll do something relatively simple on the computer, and my dad will go, "He just launched a missile." I literally just did copy and paste, dude. For some reason, computers confused the hell out of him, but he could sit there and he could dismantle and rebuild an engine in front of you, and he doesn't even need tools.
And Nick, there wasn't anything really wrong with your audio or video, unless you just enjoy using the whiteboard.
Audio, yes. Video, no. But I think he just enjoys using the whiteboard. Yeah, your video is a little choppy, by the way, but your audio was fantastic. I think he just enjoys using the whiteboard.
Yeah, I'm actually working on something, guys. Hold on a minute.
Oh, I guess it's talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, talk amongst yourselves.
I'll give you a topic. Rhode Island is neither a road nor an island. Discuss. That is still my favorite. It's the one I always use because it's my favorite coffee talk quote.
How about that Babylonian Tupperware?
Yeah, we were talking about Saturday Night Live. I was visiting a buddy of mine, and we were talking about did you guys ever see the Twilight Zone with Pamela Anderson? And it had Norm Macdonald. Norm Macdonald played Rod Serling. He's a big fan.
We have mentioned this before.
Oh yeah, where he just shut somebody down right as they at 3, 2, 1 and shut them down.
Did we talk about this already?
Yes,
you have. Yeah.
Oh shit! I was thinking about it the other night because we were watching watching Norm Macdonald clips, and
I'm not used to Punk having senior moments.
Okay, well,
Budweiser's disease.
I was going to go ahead and get the pre-reg up, but I have lost my code to change it around. So,
oh no,
I'll have to make a new one. But $35 pre-reg is all it's going to cost.
You guys gotta understand.
That's
cheap.
Badges and then rooms are the.
It has taken this long to find the picture. I'm sorry, Dan. I did not mean to step on you. Go ahead.
Oh, that's quite all right. That's quite all right. I was just wondering if there were two charges there. The 35 pre-reg for the badges and memberships, and the room rate's separate from that.
Yeah,
room rate is separate.
Yes,
that's what I thought.
Separate. Yep. But the room rate will be until the convention. If I remember correctly, the room rate is until the convention ends. Pre-reg ends a month prior to the convention, right? Am I correct on that, Joe? Like it ends in like August or something, or September. I mean.
Well, I'm interested in what Lewis was going to say.
Okay, this is
outside. That's over the windshield.
Yes, that's over the windshield from the driver's side. You can see that the framework for the curve is water damaged.
Right.
And over here, it's literally hanging out of the loft. And he took all this apart without my permission. I told him to put a patch on this part of the roof. That's it. He disassembled all of this without my permission. And now this is from the passenger side. All this is just hanging out now.
Yeah.
And that's the view from the roof. He's got
He's got a
blowers
dryer
up there trying to dry it out, but all I wanted him to do was put a patch right there.
Well, guess
and then
what?
I would bring it back. Then I would bring it back to him for the rest of the work. I promised him I'll bring it back when you can get to it, but I need to use it in the meantime.
Lewis, right now, get you a lawyer, show these pictures, and guess what? You can now make him pay for all that repair because he did it without your permission.
Yeah, I mean, it just chapped my ass like sandpaper seats,
Yeah.
I'm afraid this is more like barbed wire toilet paper.
Ooh, I like that one. I mean, as a metaphor.
Yeah.
Well, there was a entirely different secondary clause in that, but I had to clean it up.
Okay.
But yeah, if that much work was done without your permission, he has to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, all it's going to take is a letter from a lawyer.
Yeah. Well, I have a couple of lawyer friends.
Yes.
I guess we'll see how friendly they are.
All right. Nick's got something held up.
Lost code.
Up, down, left, right.
Down, left, right.
Yeah. Oh. BA start. That's a Konami code. Hey, I got something.
What?
It may sound primitive and unscientific, but through the fairies, we could ask Mothra to help.
Oh, no. I suggested that they awaken Godzilla to help with that ship that's blocking the Suez Canal. Godzilla can handle it. I've seen him do it.
Well, Mothra, she can handle it.
Put Kong on the bow and Zilla on the stern.
I don't know, man. With Mothra, I'm sure those twins don't look as good as they did in the 60s.
You never know. They've learned a lot since then.
Oh, man, those twins were hot.
Me love you
They
long time.
either replace the twins or they're eternal, and I'm okay with that. I'll risk a computer glitch for commenting on the twins. And thank you for that song now burrowing into the back of my mind. I'm going to sit up at 3 a.m. like, Mothra, and it's just going to...
Man, I used to watch all the Japanese monster movies on Channel 26, WGNO in New Orleans, every Saturday and Sunday morning.
World's greatest newspaper.
Monster Vision.
Lewis, Two Real Geeks is mechanic, and he says that was too much, and a patch would have not needed all that. Yeah. Well, he's in Atlanta. Hey, Two Real Geeks, can you fix it?
Well, what I was gonna say about that.
The thing is I never doubted that the guy could do the job. Okay? My problem was he said I can't get to it until August. But yet he still ripped it open. I'm like,
Yeah, those are things. It's not the fact that the guy can't do the job. It's the fact that Lewis didn't ask him to because he said, "Well, I can't get to it till August." Why the hell are you ripping shit apart then?
Yeah. So then I said, just put a Band-Aid on it. I'll go my way, and I'll bring it back when you can get to it.
Here's another thing. Is he planning on leaving it in the garage until
August?
Yeah, he's got another building beside his workshop building, and he said he was going to store it in there until he could get to it. I'm like,
but he already started working on it and ripping stuff apart. Why? If you're just going to let it sit there until August, why the hell did you do anything in the first place?
Exactly. But no, he wanted to show me how bad it was. He didn't think that I believed how bad it was, and I understand. But I also understand that it's been fine for this amount of time. Nobody sleeps up there. I don't put any weight on there. The most weight we put on there is a basket of dirty clothes. That's it. That's all that goes up in that loft. And I could have been fine with a patch. I mean, and I'm sorry if the doggone thing comes loose while I'm on the road, my bad. I'm stupid. I got to call AAA for a tow. But at least I would have been able to get some use out of it.
Here we go. March.
I hate everything.
August. Hey, imagine that.
Yeah. 6 months before you can even get to it. And
then why did you do anything? Oh, I'm just.
This is what has kept me up at night, Skunk. This is what has my blood pressure fighting the lisinopril tooth and nail. Okay? I mean, my chest hurt yesterday after arguing with this guy for an hour.
Well, I'm gonna. You know what? This is what I'm gonna say. This is the thing I'm gonna say. And I'm gonna go grab a beer. This is the thing I'm gonna say.
Do that.
Joe Dog.
Yeah.
I apologize. But fuck that guy. That's it. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Fuck him up the ass.
His company has the name RV Roof Repair in its name.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all he does.
Well, no, that's not all he does. Apparently, he screws people over too. But whatever.
Well, but
assholes.
Okay, nobody has ever complained about the work that he does. My complaint is that he made my RV unusable until he can get around to it. That's no way to do business, man. Don't go farther than your client requests. And if you do, it's on you. But this guy wants to take no responsibility. He's mentally detached from my argument. My argument is not that it needed that work. My argument was that if you can't get to that work until 6 months from now, patch it up and let me use it for that 6 months. This is my vacation. I can't take of it. And I told him that now. I said, dude, airlines are out of the question with the COVID and all that crap. The RV was our only vacation option. And now that is gone. He says, I haven't had a vacation in 6 years. I'm not you, dumbass.
I have a question.
Me. I got to have vacations.
Do they rent loaner RV?
No, they don't.
Oh.
He doesn't even own an RV. He says, I wouldn't own one. He says, they're all built like this.
Oh, boy.
Lewis, I feel for you.
And the best part, I brought my wife yesterday. Okay, I brought my wife yesterday because she's able to. Yeah, I am, Nick. Because she's able
that part. We're just angry now.
Yeah.
She's able to stay calmer than I am, and she was getting frustrated with this guy. And then the guy's wife comes up and starts to try to make nice. She's no better. Okay. And then she sees a puddle of gasoline and strikes a match. She says, and we'll need a half deposit up front for the $3,000 repair job for the loft. Okay, so you can't even tell me exactly when you're going to be able to get started on it, and much less when you'll be finished with it, but you want half up front. Doesn't take credit cards, got to have cash or check.
Okay, I want to bring up something real quick, just randomly, because you made me think about it, Lewis. There's a movie that just came out recently starring Nicolas Cage called Willy's Wonderland. Has anybody outside of me seen this movie?
Never heard of it.
Okay, let me give you a quick plot synopsis. It's about killer animatronics. They totally ripped off fucking Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah. But it's a really awesome film. It's really good. And that movie starts off with the fact that this guy gets his tires blown out. Find out later it's because of a spike strip, but at the time period you don't know why. His tires blow out while he's driving down the road. This guy picks him up for the tow, takes him back to the place, says, all right, I'll put 4 brand new tires on it and everything else, but we only take cash. And because he hands him a card, he goes, I only take cash. He looks over and there's an ATM, and the ATM's busted, and he goes, yeah, we're out here in the mountains, there is no internet. If you want to be able to get any money, to be able to pay for this, to be able to go anywhere, there's a job in town that you can do. You can go and clean up this old pizzeria, right? And that's where you have to go. You have to go to this pizzeria, you clean it up, and you'll be able to make like $1,000 or something. It'll be enough to pay for the tires. And the guy agrees, and he goes down there to be the janitor for the night. And the whole entire thing's a setup to get him in there so that he ends up getting murdered by the animatronics. Spoiler alert, of course, it's Nicolas Cage. He'll murder all the animatronics because he's a badass, because he's Nicolas Cage. But that is the exact plot thing. Anybody these days, at this day and age, who says, oh, we take cash only, not, we'll give you a discount if you give us cash, but we do cash only. We have no way of doing credit at all. No possible way of doing credit or debit. We don't take cards. Our fucking scam artists. Screw that crap, man. Anybody who says that, screw that. No, Lewis, not only do you get a lawyer, right? But what was the name of that company again? Bring it back up again. What was the name of the company?
Roof Install.
Okay, everybody out there who lives in the Chattanooga area, if you go to RV Roof Install, do not do it. Do not go to those people. Forget them. I'm going to tell you right now. Yeah, RV Roof Install. He's certified. Whatever. Scam artists. I don't like them. Anybody that takes cash only is bullcrap. Okay. All right. If you're going to do anything like this, if you have to have it done, whatever. I don't know if they do it. I'm gonna throw a shout out to a company that I know is reputable. I don't know if they do any repairs or anything, but I know they're reputable, and that's Camping World in East Ridge. Because I know those guys because they came in, they bought everything for their RVs. They bought everything when they hooked up their RVs. They installed stuff into new RVs and stuff like that, putting in like TVs and PlayStations and all that other stuff that they give away to their customers when people come in to buy RVs. They bought all of it at the Gun Barrel Best Buy when I worked there. Those guys are good people. Everybody down there at Camping World has always been 110%. They've even worked with my father before on certain things. Those are good guys down there, and I know that they're good guys. If they do repairs, take your stuff there from now on. I don't know if they do repairs. But I vouch for those guys.
Yeah,
those
they do
guys.
repairs.
I just hit the wall. Ow.
They're just very proud of their repairs.
If I owned the Cliff Notes company, I could make a fortune.
But Joe Dog, okay. Here's the difference, though. Here's the difference, right? Here's the difference. And I'll explain it using an example of something that's happened to me in the past before. Okay. Do you want to pay cheap for getting ripped off, or do you want to pay dear and make sure the job gets done right the first time?
Oh yeah,
because I've had to deal with that in the electronics world hardcore. I think we all have. Anybody that's ever bought electronics, Lewis, you were somebody who purchases electronics a lot, right? Oh, yeah. Do you buy some Chinese knockoff bullcrap you're to get ripped off by, or do you spend some damn money? It's the same thing with boots.
Believe me, I started out getting the Chinese knockoff crap, and
these boots that I got right here that were free from John, John will tell you how much these boots cost normally. The only reason I got them for free was because John's a good damn friend.
I think John got his for about 2 years of service.
Exactly. John put his freaking life on the line. You have to sacrifice your body and your mental health to be able to get boots like these.
Now, here's a question. I just wonder.
$109.
Hey, Lewis.
Worth every penny.
Exactly.
Hey, Lewis.
You don't cheap out on that stuff. What is the old saying? There's an old saying. It was a famous author said it, and I don't remember who he was. Famous author said it. He was talking about it's like you can spend $10 on a pair of boots and they're not going to last you at all. You can spend $100 on a pair of boots and they will last you the rest of your life. But if you don't have the $100 to be able to spend on boots, you have to buy the $10 ones, and you buy them over and over and over and over again. You're never going to be able to afford the $100 boots, right? That's the thing. You have to sacrifice. You have to save that money. And when you finally are able to buy the $100 boots, it's worth the money. That's what you have to do. You have to spend that money. You have to get the good stuff. There's people all the time that I talk to, like that, especially when they're talking about like all of the pro wrestling stuff that I have to deal with. These guys are carnies fight. They don't want to spend any money. Yes, it was Terry Pratchett. Thank you, Dick. They don't want to spend any money. They're like, oh, I could just buy this $25 camera. You buy a $25 camera, I'm not dealing with it. You're going to be spending at least $200 if I'm going to be working with you per camera, because you want to get something that actually works. The last time that I felt so bad about this, I brokered a deal between two promoters in professional wrestling. The one guy was selling cameras. He said he needed the money. He's going to sell 2 cameras for $175. I looked at the prices on these cameras and they were like, okay, $175 for 2 cameras seems like a pretty good deal. We'll take it. We'll buy these 2 cameras. We bought them. We got them there. You know what? Turns out the cameras were absolute freaking garbage. Not that it matters anymore, because apparently they've been stolen, so it doesn't matter. But my point being was that these 2 cameras that we bought were absolute garbage. We bought them super cheap when we could have been spending $200 a piece and getting good damn cameras that are going to work every single time. And honestly, if I wanted to, if we want the best kind of stuff, you spend more than that. You don't just spend the bare minimum to be able to get the things that you need.
Well, I don't even know where you're getting $200 cameras, because the one that I use most cost me $1,600, and then my Lumix cost me $1,400.
Really want to get a good damn camera?
I got $3,000 involved.
If you really want to get a good damn camera, you're gonna spend several times that. The cheapest, really super good camera that I've ever seen, period, point blank, was $500.
Yeah.
And that is a camera that's cinematic quality for $500. The best camera I've ever seen costs more than this building I'm living in. The best camera I've ever seen was about $10,000.
Lewis, I got a question to ask you.
You spend good money, you get
okay.
You don't spend cheap.
Skunk. And I came by this legally, by the way, and I'll explain it. But this camera that I carried for many.
No. Hey, Lewis, you did not carry that camera. You lugged it around.
Yeah, I supported it. But this camera,
live and direct from Channel 23.
I know, right?
Nope, Channel 3. Okay. With the 18x Fujinon internal focus lens, $56,000. One camera for a TV station.
Mm-hmm.
$56,000. Okay, the batteries, the Anton Bauer batteries that power it, $400 a piece. Okay, that is what $50,000 used to get you.
Oh yeah, no.
And I paid less than that for a brick house and 1.2 acres of land.
Yeah.
Yep.
That the best camera that I've ever when I was talking earlier and I said the best camera I've ever seen that was $10,000, right? Was a camera that was specifically designed for cinematic filmmaking, but it was a very, very
Matt Frewer. Wow.
Yeah, that's Elliot.
Network 23.
That's a very
Max
young
Headroom
Matt
show.
Frewer.
Yeah, that was from
there's Max in the background too.
Max Headroom, live and
That's what
direct.
he meant.
from
Yeah,
Channel
live and direct
23.
from Network 23.
Yep. 20 minutes into the future.
Yep. And
Yep.
now the most expensive camera I know about, Lewis. The most expensive camera I know about costs about, if I remember correctly, $2.5 million for a camera.
Would it film bullets in flight or something? I mean,
To a Webb Space Telescope.
3D IMAX camera.
Oh,
Hmm.
ground
didn't they
based.
send one of those up to the International Space Station?
Yes, they did. And they filmed the IMAX 3D movie Space Station, which was narrated by
Samuel L. Jackson. Get
Oh,
on the
no, I
Space
wish.
Station, motherfucker.
I wish. No, it was
Get these snakes off my space station.
Get these snakes on my space
I'm
station.
tired of these motherfucking snakes on
Space
my
station.
space station.
Oh, come on. It's after 11 o'clock, but I was
Snakes.
trying to edit for.
Snakes on a space station. That's what I want now.
no,
Oh.
not Attenborough.
Richard. Morgan Freeman. Had to be Morgan Freeman.
No,
Really?
no.
Tom Cruise.
Lewis, if you say
Tom
you,
Cruise. Joe got it.
Mr. Bean.
Joe Googled it.
Joe looked it up. He Googled it. You
no,
damn. cheater.
Now, the
I
reason why I
didn't
know
Google
that, though, Lewis, the reason why I
Bart
know that,
Simpson.
the reason why I know that's Nancy
Hey,
Cartwright.
man, we're on the space station.
The reason why I know that, the fact that camera, the IMAX 3D camera, cost $2.5 million. The reason I know that is because inadvertently,
You broke one.
there's a horror film that I'm a big fan of. Well, it's a horror series I'm a big fan of called Final Destination.
Yeah.
And in The Final Destination, which was the fourth one, they later retconned it and called it
Don't
4.
talk to me about Final Destination.
You don't like that one?
I
They
love
used
Final
my
Destination.
footage and I didn't get a penny.
I love Final
Oh,
Destination.
Really?
The
I
100,
didn't-
yeah.
Hey,
The 100,
what-
well, the 99 car pile up here on I-75.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
one
scene
that-
where the log truck loses a log and causes
Yeah.
this chain reaction.
when they show it on the
Half
news
that
later,
footage was mine from Channel 12.
when
Channel
they show
12
the news
sold it
later,
to 'em.
yeah.
I didn't get a penny.
when they show the news footage later, it's from the I-75 crash.
Yeah.
But no, the whatever, Nick. When they were filming that movie, the fourth one, because what Lewis was talking about was the second one. When they were filming the fourth one, they broke one of the cameras they were renting. And the company they rent it from looked at New Line Cinema and was just like, well, that's $2.5 million. And New Line was like, okay. Because they broke it.
That stuff's insured. You know it is.
It better be.
There
for
ain't
that
no way
kind
it
of
would
buck.
leave. There ain't no way it would leave the vault if it wasn't insured.
Well, I mean, you hear horror stories of that happening in film all the time. My absolute favorite one is from the Hateful Eight, which is that Quentin Tarantino film. Have you guys ever heard that story?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm.
Okay, Lewis, you're gonna love this.
Wait. Let's bring it up here. There. Oh, darn it. Sorry, wrong button. There we go.
They have in this scene in the Hateful Eight, because it's a period piece. It takes place during the expansion to the West, and Kurt Russell's character is playing a guitar. Right?
Oh God, yes, I remember.
It's an ancient, like this is a 1700s acoustic guitar, and he's playing it like 1800, something like that. He's playing this guitar and he's talking to the characters. And at one point, he takes a guitar and uses it as a weapon. Right? They forgot to switch out the actual guitar they were borrowing from a museum. They forgot to switch it out with the stunt guitar. And Kurt Russell used it to hit somebody with it or whatever and broke the guitar. And
He
the person from
smashed
he smashed it. And the person from the museum is like, the guitar is priceless. It was one of a kind. There was never ever. I mean, to give you a value of that guitar would be literally impossible because it is worth so much money that there's no way. And Kurt Russell was like, "I'm so sorry. I'll pay you whatever." And they're like, "There's nothing you can do.
No way. You don't have that much money.
You don't have that much money." right?
There's
So
never
that's
been
my
that
favorite
much money
story.
printed.
That's my favorite story of all time. That guitar was worth so much money. There's just like, there's no way. Like, you would have to give us
Unless
like
you
the
can
United
build a
States
time
GDP, you know,
Go
to be
back
able
in
to.
time and get us another one and bring it back. No, you don't have enough money to replace that guitar.
It was just, I mean, they were horrified by that.
Yeah,
And,
Jennifer Jason Leigh was right there beside it, and you can see I mean, it made the final cut of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer Jason
All the other
Leigh,
actors were like,
and that's
It's
what
all
I'm
over the
talking
internet.
about when I talk about this sort of thing. That stuff happens in Hollywood all the time. Another great story along those lines. The original Nightmare on Elm Street, they almost killed a person. They almost killed several people because they had a stunt involving a rotating room that it went wrong while they were filming. And it was something like 500 gallons of fake blood or something like that was pouring out of this. The famous scene with the bed and the blood coming up out of the bed. They shot that upside down. They just poured the blood in. The problem is that when the blood hit the other side, they're pouring it in from the floor in an upside down room. It hit the ceiling and knocked the room off kilter. That's why the blood looks so weird in that scene, because the room started spinning around like this. And the blood came flying out of the room while they were filming. It drenched Wes Craven and the director of photography. They both got drenched in this fake blood. And they were just like, whatever, that's fine. The problem was that underneath the rotating room, was all of the electrical equipment. And guess where the blood went? And I mean, there was somebody who was like riding somebody that were trying to control the room as it was rotating and stuff. They were trying to get back control of it. Well, it ground out, knocked the power out. And when it did that, because it was short circuiting, it shocked the people who were holding onto the room, trying to keep it from spinning out of control. And I mean, people got seriously hurt on that set. There were 2 people it almost killed. The principal actors of that film, Robert Englund and Heather Langenkamp, were about 2 feet away from the blood when it hit the ground. They had to jump back to not get shocked. Robert Englund literally saved Heather Langenkamp's life, because if he hadn't moved her out of the way, it would have been.
Hey, Skunk.
What?
How do they know that Vic Morrow had dandruff?
Oh, God.
They found his head and shoulders in the bushes.
Dude, that was so wrong.
Too soon.
What do you mean too
30
soon?
years.
That's like a quarter of a century ago.
Yeah.
No,
Hey,
Lewis,
my opinion is that there's no such thing as a joke that's too soon, as long as it's funny.
Yeah.
Now,
What, Joe?
I've been trying to get a word in edgewise. I wonder how the Georgia Department of Revenue would feel about a company that only took cash payments.
Oh, he'll take a check.
Checks are just as good as cash. Joe Doc.
Yeah.
This is your show. You can tell us to shut the hell up anytime you want.
I did 3 times, and you just completely ignored me.
Hey, you can always, you know what? You can always do this.
Yeah, you can always. Yeah, exactly. You can always get that thing. Yeah.
Oh, is that all it takes?
Yeah. See, he's quiet now.
So,
well,
I can bring myself back in if Joe Dog isn't fighting with me.
Joe, he does have a point. You are the moderator.
Yeah, he's got the little blue wrench next to his name when we're doing cover tile, or not cover tile pending. The other one. Never mind the furthermore. I saw it the other day. He's got the blue name and the little. I was like, what?
Evidently, I'm a moderator.
Brian K. Morris has so much love and respect for you, Jodok. He made you a moderator.
And is it love and respect, or is it fear?
Well,
no, that's when I talk about my wife.
Well, yeah, we're all fearing for you, Joe. Whenever you do that, we're afraid one of these days she's actually going to tune in and watch.
No, the 2 movies that I worked on, Nick, were The Toy and Everybody's All American, both of which were filmed in Baton Rouge during my college years.
Wait, Lewis, The Toy?
Yeah.
As in
Jackie
Richard Pryor?
and Richard Pryor.
Holy crap, really?
Mm-hmm.
Love that movie.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a little weird. It's a little weird because it is Richard Pryor, and the whole concept behind that film
Hey,
is a little
Jackie
creepy.
Gleason. I mean, cool.
Yeah.
The Toy is a great movie, by the way, if you've never seen it.
Lewis, one of your bosses was in Love Potion #9.
Thank you, Nick. That's a great compliment coming from you.
And instead of
One
a
of my
bad hammer,
bosses. Which
you are
boss?
this blocked. Okay.
I'm a little confused by that one, Lewis. What? Show dog?
One of Lewis's bosses was in Love Potion #9.
Well, we heard you, but we're trying to
Which one?
clarify your statement,
Kevin.
please.
Kevin?
Yeah.
Kevin.
They
Well.
shot part of Love Potion #9 at the Reed House and somewhere in downtown Chattanooga
Yeah.
Mhm.
and Atlanta.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
Which part did they shoot at the Reed House?
They cut it.
Oh,
No, they didn't.
He's not in it.
the wedding
What was that
is
bicycle race movie that was filmed in Athens, Georgia?
Bicycle.
probably what was it? The one with
You're going to hurt your head that way, John.
I just
I know.
realized something.
My head deserves to be hurt. Let me tell you.
There was a movie.
Something running, I think, but I can't.
Sound
No,
running?
yeah, I can't remember. It's what's his name plays the nutcase all the time.
They
That's
were
very
they
large.
were
A
filming
lot of nutcases.
they were
The first
filming
thing
a
that came to
scene
mind
in a
was Jack
road that I
Nicholson.
normally drove home through.
The lathe of heaven. The lathe of.
Real quick, while John's looking that up, I just want to point out it is after midnight, so we are officially on Sunday, and there was something we need to do. Stupid O'Clock at Armchair Rocket Science are proud members of the Rising Tide Podcast Network. Rising Tide races all ships. This is our program schedule at all times are Eastern. Sunday, Comics, Chaos, and Sass at 10 p.m. on Facebook. Monday, Nevermind the Furthermore at 10 a.m. on Facebook and YouTube. Tuesdays, Clever Tile, pending on 8 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube. TED Talks at 10 a.m. on YouTube. Wednesdays, Nevermind the Furthermore at Facebook and YouTube. And Thursdays, TED Talks at 11 a.m. at YouTube. Creative as Hell at 8 p.m. Facebook, Stupid O'Clock at 9 p.m. on YouTube, Quick Spectrum at 7 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube. Fridays, Nevermind the Furthermore, 10 a.m. on Facebook and YouTube. Michaela J's Tidbits and Scribbles at 7 p.m. on YouTube, and Historical Fencing Guild at 8 p.m. on YouTube. Saturdays, Stupid O'Clock at 11 p.m. on YouTube, and the wild card, Armchair Rocket Science, will air whenever launches are scheduled by NASA, SpaceX, or Blue Origin on YouTube. Visit www.facebook.com/Rising Tide Broadcast Network for more information.
Oh,
Joe,
I screwed that
give
up
me
a
the
few
corrected
times.
information, please. Please, I'm begging you. I can't stand to see my work up there that's incorrect.
I'm waiting on Brian to send it to me, Brian.
Brian
Brian.
again.
Yeah.
God,
there was a movie.
As I was saying, they were filming a scene from this movie on a road that I normally went home driving down. So I took a detour about a block further up, and I actually saw the film. And there's my car uphill. I mean, I knew it was mine. So.
Hey. Lewis, here's another movie tidbit for you. There was a Francis Ford Coppola movie filmed in Chattanooga.
In Chattanooga, yeah, I've seen that.
Featuring James Caan, Robert Duvall.
Yep.
And who else? Shirley Knight.
The movie we're thinking of. Oh, sorry. The movie we're thinking of was Breaking Away.
Okay.
Lewis, a really weird question for you, and I'm gonna ask it to you publicly because I'm thinking about it right now. Can you? Well, let me put it this way: would you be willing? Because I know you can, but would you be willing to be the director of photography for a horror film?
I mean, yeah, I think so. I mean, it's not my bag, but you know, it's a gig.
Reason why I put it that way, I don't want to make you uncomfortable. It's a short that we're working on. Me and some friends, we're working on a short. There's not going to be a lot of violence. It's mostly going to be a lot of talking. The reason why I was asking was because I feel like even though they want to do a shot on video with VHS, they want to shoot it on VHS specifically.
They want to, or they think they have to?
They want to.
Oh.
They want that look of video. And
I can do that with filters.
We have an actual VHS camera that had you load a VHS tape into it. It's a shoulder mounted, not like what you were showing off earlier. It's a little bit more low tech than that. It's the home
baby
version.
brother of what he was showing off
exactly.
earlier.
But I was sitting there thinking, like, we really need a real DP on this, because I don't know if Mike, no offense, Mike, if you're watching this, I don't know if Mike really knows composition. And I think from the way that this is probably going to end up going down, I'm more than likely going to be one of the main characters in this film, because it's going to be my voice anyway. Like the way I'm going to write this, it's a monologue. And so I'm going to be writing it in my voice. Well, my what's the word I'm searching for?
Voiceover.
It's a voiceover, but I'm doing it exaggerated, over-exaggerated, my over-exaggerated Southern accent. Where, we'll be talking a little bit more or less like this. I'm doing it in this voice right here, Yeah.
And
the way I'm going to be writing it, but it's a monologue. It's somebody telling a story, and then we're going to clip in the scenes that are going to be clipped in are going to be the scenes of the things that are happening in the story as the guy's telling it. So it's going to be 90% of this movie is going to be narration.
Okay.
And I was sitting there thinking the whole entire time we were just talking. And when I saw you, when I saw you hold up that camera, I went, who would be good as a DP for this? Be Lewis. I wonder if anybody. I wonder because we want to make this. Because here we're entering into a film festival. We want to win. I don't know if you can win film festivals, but we want to win. That's the way I'm looking at it. I don't know about the other two guys. I'm looking at it. I want to win.
Hey, I got to time out. I got to call time out. Skunk, since you're good at reading up what's on screen, we just got a sponsor. I need you to read this real quick. You ready?
Crossville News first annual testicle festival is coming to Bledsoe County Fairgrounds in April. If you visit CrossvilleNewsFirst.com, you can find out more about the first annual testicle festival of Bledsoe County on April 24th.
All right.
I was going to read the bottom part because I realized about 3/4 of the way through that all you did was screenshot a Facebook ad.
Yeah.
I didn't even have to read 3 words into it. All I had to do was see the screen. And I knew it was one of Joe's jokes.
So that's the thing. I don't know if the Knoxville Horror Film Festival actually gives out awards or not. I hope they do.
Look it up.
We're gonna.
This is cool because it's an outdoor adventure film festival, and the trophy is a real freaking log.
So that's what I was saying. It's like a brick.
It's a log, man. Here's the bark.
That's what I'm saying. It's like a brick. Lewis, you could throw that at somebody; it would hurt.
Yeah, it would. Believe me.
That's +5 damage right there. Lewis, did you still need that 1940s music for the project you were working on?
No. I found some royalty free.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to offer one of the things off the new album if you could find something that was in the style that you needed. And,
I appreciate it very much, but I had to get that thing edited and done.
Alrighty.
And that's what it took to shut up Skunk Rocker. I only had to make a deal with the forces of darkness. Oh well, these things happen.
I never thought the forces of darkness had asthma before.
It's hard with all this sulfur down here.
Nick,
Hey,
you
come up
jumped
here.
out.
We got pollen in Georgia. You won't survive a minute.
Nick,
You think losing your fiddle was bad?
Nick, you
He
jumped
said
out
I could
too
come
soon.
back anytime. He didn't expect me when he was 95 on his deathbed. Yes.
You missed it. You jumped out just before something big happened. We had an announcement. The first annual Testicle Festival coming to Bledsoe Fairgrounds in April.
No wonder Skunk had to leave.
Joe made him read it. And he didn't realize it was one of Joe's practical jokes until
No, it's not a practical joke. It's a real event.
Yeah, but having Skunk read it was the practical joke, is what I'm saying.
It's an event with balls.
No, let me tell you something right now, damn it. Let me tell you something right now. There is no such thing as a practical joke on this show, okay?
They were very impractical most of the time.
Impractical, exactly.
They're very impractical. Actually, let me rephrase that. There's no such thing as an accidental joke. Everything here was planned out way in advance.
Oh, even my one-liners? Good grief. I don't
know.
think
Like, even the stuff that's been... Even the stuff that has been improvised, even the stuff that's been improvised, somebody planned that out way in advance. Okay, it might not have been
usually
me.
Warner
Brothers been thinking about doing that for a while. He had it planned. He knew what he was doing.
No,
I'll be right back.
Lewis, I've screenshotted that from Logan's Facebook page post. Logan
Carmichael?
Yeah.
No, Logan's the restaurant.
Logan Carmichael. He's a friend of ours.
Yeah.
So
Joe, that was the other. There was another coworker of mine who was in a movie and got cut out of it, and that was Dale Deason. Huh. Back when he was a teenager, they were filming Starman. And do you remember the scene where they stop at the hotel and the teenagers knock over the Coke machine?
Yeah.
He was in that scene, but his particular part got cut out.
Yeah. Most of that was filmed over in Tiftonia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. All except when they actually get to the meteor crater.
Meteor crater. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I've been to. Awesome.
Me too.
Love that place.
Which is why
amazing how much money we paid to look at a hole in the ground.
I hate that they put.
But what a hole! Hey. That's what she said.
Yeah. I hate that they put Jeff Bridges in Iron Man, because had he played Star-Lord's father in Guardians of the Galaxy, man, that would have just been beautiful. You could have tied that universe together.
Yeah, that really would have been a good link.
Oh God.
Okay, Nick's starting to scare me now.
What do you mean? No.
I got you full screen. Don't do that, man.
You know, I did not think of it while Skunk was reading that. All I had to have done is gone right as he finished that, but it was too late.
What? No.
Excuse me. Lindsay's having an asthma attack, and we have not been able to find her an inhaler for like 2 years.
What? Why?
Yeah. They stopped carrying them because people were making illegal drugs out of the contents.
You can't get a prescription?
She can't find a doctor that'll take her as a new patient.
Good grief.
I know.
Oh.
You know, I got this at one of the beer fest in Chattanooga. The Angry Orchard thing. Oh, I was going to see it. But the backside of it tells you all these cocktails you can make with the Angry Orchard stuff. And when I first saw this, I thought, if they would make these that you could write on for cheat notes, this would be the ultimate pen to take into an exam with you.
And the next thing you know,
I missed anything?
Pens would be banned for the test. Used to know a guy that had a slide ruler as a tie tack.
One of the other things I thought, and one of the main reasons I kept this is they give you this card for when you're doing demolitions. They give you a card with all the mathematical formulas on it, so that you can do the math for how much explosive you'll need to do a certain blast, cut, breach, whatever. And I thought this would be perfect to put all that information on, so that while you're doing your calculations, it's right flipping there.
Yeah.
Now, do they have one that tells you if you're using this much explosive, you have to run this fast to get the safe distance?
Actually, yes, they do have a card that says minimum safe distance per pounds of TNT.
Oh, that's delightful.
Minimum is 300 meters. And then it goes out to I think the maximum is like 1,200 meters.
That sounds like solutions looking for problems.
No. Well, actually, yes. We stockpile that stuff. So technically it is a solution looking for a problem.
Well, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the substrate.
Oh, what's that?
Oh.
One of these days I'm going to dig out that darn cheat card and show you guys that.
That would be fun.
Because strangely enough, you
could just scan it and email me a copy. It might come in handy.
Probably find it on the computer, actually. But in all the military demolition calculations, they have P. P is the amount of pounds of TNT, which is the base explosive for everything else. Even nuclear weapons are judged by how many tons or millions of tons of TNT.
It's basically the explosives version of horsepower.
Pretty much, yes. And give you an example. C4 is 1.32 TNT. This is the RF factor. So it's basically 1/3 more powerful than TNT.
Mm-hmm.
I heard a rumor that you could actually use that cut a little chunk off and use it in place of a nitroglycerin pill if you were having a heart attack.
No.
No,
I don't think I would.
It is a nitrate, but it is different. So.
Well, yeah.
I heard that you could make really cute little garden animals out of them.
Hello, Mr. Gopher. It's me, Mr. Squirrel.
Now, I have heard.
Don't mind the wires. The doctor just told me I had to wear this. Okay.
Now, I have heard you can cut you off a little piece and put it in a camp stove and burn it.
I lit a piece of C4 that was about 2 inches by 1 inch square. 2 inches by 2 inches by 1 inch.
And live to brag about it.
Well, it takes pressure to detonate it.
Oh,
okay.
So it's like ammonium nitrate.
The flames that came off of that little block of C4 went about 12 feet in the air.
What?
That's crazy. They must have changed the formula since Vietnam.
This was older C4. But the flames coming off of it were easily 4 feet taller than I was.
My dad used to cook his sea rats.
Yeah, but they're only using that.
Yeah, they're using a sugar cube size piece.
Yeah,
what I never said how big he was using.
What I cut off is the size of a pack of cigarettes.
That's fascinating.
Well, actually, I didn't cut it off. I found it laying on the side of a demolition range.
Here's a random explosive I found on the side of a demolitions range. You know what's a great idea? Light it on fire.
Well, I know what it is.
I'm poking fun. I have to.
It's like landmines are only dangerous to people that don't know what the hell a landmine is. You know.
Oh, Lewis, do you remember the news report happened on ML King when they were remodeling the house about 5-6 years ago? They found all the dynamite under the stairs.
Dynamite or the grenades? I remember one where they found some old Vietnam era grenades.
Yeah, well, same house.
Okay.
That was after the dynamite incident.
Uh-huh.
There is an old mill store up in Tracy City, still there. Okay. And it goes back like 100 years. This store has been there. Okay. Give an example. They still have the coal stove in the back end for heating the store. It's been, but one of the cool things about it, if you walk in there and you look up on the shelf up over the top of the store, they have these old wooden crates that used to have Atlas dynamite in the crates. Okay. Now, some of that old Atlas dynamite is the original nitroglycerin and sawdust formula, right? They had one of these boxes fall off of that shelf during an earthquake up there and explode on the floor of the store.
It still had something in it, huh?
The wood was still impregnated with nitroglycerin. Apparently, it just hit on that one corner that was full of the old nitroglycerin residue.
Yeah,
and
yep.
And
it used to sweat the nitroglycerin out, and the crate would absorb it, I imagine.
Yes.
Yeah, well, the big thing about this dynamite that they found, it was labeled 1958. And this was like 2015, 2016.
Huh.
Needless to say, the bomb squad was just a little nervous.
Yeah. Was it possibly from the VAP site, or?
I don't know that they made.
When did they close the VAP site?
No,
John?
everything they made out there was TNT, pretty much, which is different.
I think it closed. I think it was converted to a fertilizer factory in the late 60s.
And that's somehow better.
Well, no, I mean we've got right now where Volkswagen has their plant is the former Volunteer Army Ammunitions Plant, or VAP site, and they used to make TNT and high explosives for World War II.
Oh yeah.
So it's very funny that the Volkswagen plant, a German company, sits on property that used to make bombs that they dropped on Germany.
On Germany.
So, it's
poetic
kind of cute. And they've still got all these bunkers. Okay, there's a hill and there's a bunker, and you can go in these things, and they're earthen
berms.
Oh,
that was the word I was about to say too.
Yeah, berms. Okay, and you can still go in there, and it's really weird because it's hard concrete walls, and the echoes in there are maddening. But that's where they would store all the TNT before they shipped it out, because and they would only store so much in each one, so that if one blew, it didn't take out the whole inventory.
And there's a Nike missile launch there. Or what they call it? Nike.
They had
battery.
3 different types of Nike.
Yeah. There was a Nike battery there.
Yep, that's one of the bunkers right there.
These boxes do not contain explosives. So
yeah, if I know anything about the government, don't trust that sign.
Yeah.
You guys have your own Mothman down there? I'm just curious.
What?
Probably. Well, the reason Nick brought that up is the Mothman prophecies that took place. Point Pleasant. That was also an Army ammunition plant during World War II. That was the main employer in the area at the time. Yes, I know things, and I drink. I'm Tyrion Lannister.
Nah, you're too tall.
Happy now.
Oh, look up the Game of Thrones medley sometime, because the following line of that is, "I am but half a man, worth double in my pants." And, it just ran through my head thanks to
Oh, quit that. Okay, there we go. That is the store up in Tracy City that has the dynamite boxes all over the place.
Man, I'd be looking at that shelf real hard.
Yeah.
Oh, just crossed my mind, guys. I went back and watched both Infinity Wars and Endgame.
Endgame. And did you watch both of the
Bumps?
Guardians of the Galaxies?
Oh yeah, I'd already seen them, so yeah,
Okay.
I knew that.
So what did you think?
I liked it. I liked them. A lot of times the Marvel movies get so convoluted in the action that you can't even really see what's going on.
There are a lot of Easter eggs.
They learned a happy medium, but what?
There are a lot of Easter eggs in Marvel.
Yeah, definitely.
Has anybody started watching Falcon and Winter Soldier yet?
I watched the first episode, and that's why I stopped, is because I wanted to go back and see Endgame so that a lot of their references would make sense.
Okay.
So now I'm going to start over again and watch it all the way through.
And it'll explain WandaVision too.
Yeah. Yeah. WandaVision I was able to enjoy without having seen Infinity Wars. But now that I've seen Infinity Wars, it makes more sense.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. So
I had a question for you, Joe Dog.
No.
How it's not a yes no kind of question.
Okay,
How
42.
scary is HoloCon as with the vendors and stuff? Because I realize, given what it is, I was thinking about my son,
right,
and how problematic, because he's not exactly got any,
We do not have blood gore vendors.
Okay.
Is that what you're looking for?
Well, yeah, it's the whole figuring, because there's some aisles he won't go down in Halloween City. When we go, it gives me that look like, no, Dad. Okay, well that's fine too. So it occurred to me to get ahead of it, and I'll just ask the pros here.
And we will have some people do like a vampire or zombie costume, but they're not as prevalent as just your regular cosplayers.
Okay.
I mean, we have, if you ever see me set up somewhere, I've got a little tablet of a slideshow, and there's a picture of a girl in this beautiful emerald green Victorian ball gown.
Ooh.
Standing next to her roommate with the Harley Quinn with the big sledgehammer at the same show. So,
okay. It just occurred to me in live format.
Yeah. We have, we'll have like a couple skeletons hanging around.
Oh.
I'm going to see if I could possibly get the shaky mummy again.
I feel so bad. My brain went to Noxuna Moon.
Yeah. There is a who was
she was shaking.
Spirit Halloween
to be the makeup artist on that flick, man. Wow.
Spirit Halloween put out this shaken mummy.
Yeah.
Years ago. One of my friends took and reworked it and actually put some glass eyes in it, and it looks like the former director of HoloCon. It was not intentional. He didn't know Dutch. And Skunk will tell you it's creepy, because we actually took a picture of Dutch standing next to it one year, and you couldn't tell who was in costume.
Is that your cheat sheet?
That's one of the cheat sheets. Yeah.
I just want to thank you, John, because I keep looking up thinking you're holding your hand up close to the camera to go back. If you look at the Biden picture, there's this big superimposed hand. So, peripherally, when I'm looking, it's it looks like you're doing the wave to try and, I want to say something.
Yeah. The sleeper must awaken. Yeah. There we go. Wait. Here we go. Tomorrow, people. There we go. Okay.
Hey, I get those references.
That's because you're that old, Dan. Okay.
Yes. And I didn't even have to be frozen in an iceberg for 40 years.
Hey, and I got the perfect hat on. That just got us banned from YouTube Europe.
Are you okay, Skunk? Like straight up. I know I was a little hard on
They
you.
can't
Are
ban
you
us.
okay?
We have an English bulldog.
Or is he? It looks like he's working on a project because he's
Oh,
looking
okay.
back and forth.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, cool.
Oh, I got to go do something. Y'all carry on amongst yourselves. I got to do something.
Is it medicine time or?
No.
Yeah,
I
we're
got
only
nothing
12 minutes
tonight.
from the end of the show, Joe.
Do what?
Yeah.
We're only 12 minutes from the end of the show.
He's got to
know.
pull an Amy Hale.
No. I'm going to be right here. I've just got to send something.
All right.
He's sending out good vibrations.
No, I'm just.
Yes, that was it.
I don't know why I'm so tired all of a sudden, but I am.
Because it's 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
Could be it.
I can do it.
It is technically my wife's birthday, so I don't know.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be a time.
Oh.
We're brought to you as part of the Rising Tide Network. I don't have any superpowers through StreamYard, but I have a piece of paper on plastic with a busted Lexan. So why don't you guys screenshot this and support the other shows on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network? That's
We
how I
already-
advertise
Wait a
on
minute.
my
We
book.
actually already
You
did our
spelled
announcement
pressing wrong.
earlier.
Oh, I know. I just felt like doing a random plug, you know. I figured if I wait around here long enough, it'll be Monday, and I have to start plugging for Brian K. Morrison's show.
Hey, Nick, go ahead and plug the hyster.
You know,
Historical
I
Fencing
will
Guild.
say this.
Hysterical
This
fencing
week,
tonight.
it was the Hysterical Fencing Guild.
The hysterical
I've-
fencing guild.
I've had some things go wrong on live broadcast, but this week
But
was
you've
pretty
never
awesome.
had your background attack you before.
No, I've had a ceiling fan attack me. There was an incident with bees.
Those are
once.
way more vicious because they've got 4 blades.
Yeah.
Actually, mine has 5. It's just like a glaive. You see, it's for slaying beasts, and occasionally I just get so sexy it gets confused. But
I had an idea forever ago. I had an idea forever ago for a character. I don't even know why I had the idea for this character. You ever have an idea for a character and you just have nothing to do? Like, where are you going to put him? What are you going to do with that character?
Yeah,
Right.
usually
That's
when
idea
you're
for character.
an awesome scene.
I have this idea for character, and I said recently, I was like, you know what? I said this to Brian. I was like, you know what? I need to learn how to write a script for a comic book. I need to know how to write a script for a comic book because I need to do something with this character. It's a great idea for a character. No one else is doing it. I need to do something with it.
Don't describe it then. Actually, get a copy of Brian's books, The Haunted Scripts of Bachelor's Grove. He actually does a pretty good breakdown on how to format writing for comic books. I've been studying.
Well, he
it for
said he
some
was
of
going
my
to send me a
upcoming
link
stuff.
to a book, but he never did, Brian.
Okay, Brian, if you're still watching, you need to send him a link. If not, I'll see if I can send you a link a little later. Remind me, Skunk, offline. But when you're looking at links, get my newest book, The Fighting Axe. And this is how we plug Nevermorian style. Yeah. But
well, actually, they're not part of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network, although they should be.
You bring that back up.
Yeah, 2 Real Geeks out of Atlanta, Georgia. Please like and subscribe to their channel on
Do we have to?
YouTube.
I'm only technically part of the broadcast network because I'm on
Alright,
this
I'll
show.
like them if I have to.
Yeah.
I'm not technically part of the broadcast network because I have a show that's on my own network of bullshit.
Yes. But yeah,
I'm not special.
yeah. Give 2 Real Geeks a little bit of love and like and subscribe to their channel.
I even showed you how to do it.
Like and subscribe to their channel. Follow their page on Facebook. Avoid
If they're
me.
support them. If not, bug them until they get one. You know, we should talk about the projects of another prominent person on here. Hey, Lewis, how's that Roku channel going?
It's still being built. We're working out
I'm so tired
the corresponding website that will list all the programming on there, and what we're trying to do is figure out the best possible domain name, and we'll have subdomains for all the cities that we franchise it out to.
Cool.
So if we come up with xyz.tv, then we'll be able to say Chattanooga.xyz.tv and Atlanta.xyz.tv. And that way we can have one domain name, but cover all of our cities.
Are you planning to be in the Southeast? I mean, like, how far are you?
Well, I mean, it's always when you're franchising, it's always easier to start near home and work your way out. I mean, Steak and Shake started right there in Indiana, and now they're friggin' everywhere.
I've closed one of those down.
Yeah, but they're worthwhile.
How did you close it down?
Well, you see, every about a month they have to close down for to clean the grills and
scrape the grease out of the restaurant.
About an hour around 2:00 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Now the problem is when they do this, they ask you out because the whole lobby fills up with smoke while they're cooking the stuff off the grill.
Mm-hmm.
This is great, but not when there's about 30 coyotes in the field, literally on the other side of the parking lot that had hunkered down. So I'm standing out in front. They're like, "You can come back in an hour. We're sorry." Well, that's fine. I haven't got much else to do. And it looked like somebody was turning on Christmas lights because they were kind of sleeping out in the tall, like, and it wasn't much bigger than the Steak and Shake parking lot. This little field off the side of the road, and all these little Christmas lights are blinking up in pairs. There were about 30 coyotes yipping and sniffing and coming on. Looking. I don't know about you, but I'm going to slowly go into my car. I don't have to be faster than the coyotes. I just have to be faster than you. And I walk with a limp, so I'm going to take a head start. You know?
Yes, it is.
Caught me rocking out, sorry. Wow, we're losing members. I mean,
damn, Skunk's making me yawn now. Quit.
I mean, I can make it worse.
No.
I'm not yawning.
I'm not yawning. To sleep tonight.
I'm not yawning. You're yawning.
Your summer vacation.
Soft,
little
ball of
close your eyes. And
on an outbound trip to the endless wars of Confederation fleet. Wait, you guys?
That reminds me of a question posted up on Facebook today. What is the greatest opening line of a song?
I already said what it was.
What?
On mine.
What?
I feel like the greatest opening line of any song of all time, in my eyes, the greatest opening line is they tell us that we lost our tails evolving up from little snails. I say it's all just wind and sails. Are we not men? We are Devo.
Nick?
Wow, greatest? Wow, that's hard because my first thought was, please allow me to introduce myself.
Okay,
I'm a man
that's a good one.
Dan? That was the nature. It was either that or I hurt myself today. But that's just because.
And now we get to the sitting on a park bench.
Lewis,
come back to me, man. That's a hard one.
John,
a long time ago,
Oh God!
Remember how that music
Don't put that
used
in
to
my
make
head.
me smile.
I'm gonna throw mine. Ticking away the moments that make up
Make up
a
a dull day. Yes.
No, you got to do it right. It's taking away the moments to make up a dull day.
Yeah, well, I know better than to sing.
There is.
All right, Lewis.
Taking away the moments that make up a dull day. Okay.
Lewis.
God, I hate this.
Tiptoe through the tulips.
No, there will be no Tiny Tim.
Thank you, Tiny.
Generals
It was
gathered
20 years
in
ago
the
today. Sergeant Pepper taught the band to play.
That's a good one.
Aww.
That is a very good one.
In
That is
restless
a very
very-
dreams, I walk alone.
Of course, the song that I sang, that I threw out there, the older I get, the more sense that song makes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and the thing is that those guys were like in their 20s when they wrote it.
Yeah.
They were wise beyond their years.
Yep.
They were stoned beyond their comprehension.
That too.
Interesting where that gets you.
Hey, you've seen my 20s.
Man, I don't even know my 20 most of the time.
That I could make the people dance, and maybe
maybe.
they'd be happy for a while.
John, stop it.
Really.
All right.
One, nothing wrong with me.
They played that on the radio today, and Denise and I both reached for the radio to change the channel. We did not need that earworm, man.
Well, yeah,
I've got one of those from the 50s that if I ever hear that, boom, radio goes off. I don't even change the channel. It's one of those Dead Girlfriend with a Car Wreck songs.
Okay.
Dan, I just
Leader of
thought
the pack,
of one.
or
No. Leader of the Pack's fine.
Well, I just thought of one that I know Dan will appreciate. That is one of the greatest opening lyrics of all time.
It was all I could do to keep from crying.
Oh.
So yeah,
Lindsay and I actually sing
might
that.
like to go to the show.
That's a good one. That's one of my favorites. How about
the wall?
I feel a hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older.
Mexican
I turn the
radio,
switch,
yes indeed.
check the number. I leave it on in bed when I slumber. I hear the rhythms of the music. I buy the product and never use it. I hear the talking of the DJ. Can't understand just what does he say. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Now John's just reading it out.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? You know what another good one is, real quick before we go, and I think we can all agree this is a good one. This song is called Alice's Restaurant. It's about Alice and the restaurant.
How about this? Well, how about that? You had a flat. Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
We'll be
I have slept the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand and touched the face of God.
Yeah, what?
You know you won that one, right? That was not fair. That was not fair at the last second, bringing up something from Rocky Horror.
All right. Good night. We're still live. Good night.